Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Inside Guns with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. Today I want to talk about carry ammo. I get asked all the time, what's your favorite carry ammo? What ammo do you use in your everyday carry gun? Well, I've always been a little reluctant to make a video about this because it's hard to say which is my favorite. There's actually different ammos I use if I'm carrying different calibers or if I'm carrying for different reasons. So there's really no way for me to sit down and say, well, this is my number one favorite, this is my number two favorite, because like I said, it's very dependent on circumstance and gun. So what I thought I would do though today, to try and answer the question, is I'm going to go through what tends to be my 5 favorite ammos, depending on what gun I'm carrying, and put them in a list in no certain order. So here we go, in no certain order, these are my top 5 favorite carry ammos. All right, first on the list, we have a hollow point, lead-free, solid copper round, and it is the Barnes tac-xpd. Now, like all solid copper projectiles or lead-free projectiles, it has really good penetration for the size and weight of the bullet, but this bullet actually expands, unlike some copper bullets that are more of a solid projectile. This is, like I said, from Barnes. It is a coated bullet. That's why it has that black collar. Now, I tend to use it when I'm wanting to shoot 45 ACP. If I'm carrying a 45 ACP, this is what I use. I use it in the 185 grain bullet, and it's traveling about 1,000 feet per second. Really does good penetration. Does better penetration, especially against glass, than most any other 45 ACP I've ever shot. So when I want to carry a 45, a 1911, or whatever, the Barnes tac-xpd, that's where I usually go because, like I said, it is an expanding bullet. So it turns a big bullet to an even bigger bullet, but it's also got that solid copper body, that lead-free design that allows it to also penetrate well. So I think it makes up for some of the shortcomings of 45 ACP. So when I'm shooting 45 ACP, that's what it usually is. It's usually the Barnes tac-xpd. All right, next we have an ammo that is another solid copper lead-free round, but this is more of a solid copper projectile. It is not a hollow point. And these are the Underwood Extreme Penetrators and Extreme Defenders. I love these rounds. These are rounds I use quite often if I'm shooting something like 38 Special Plus P or 9mm, because they give you a little bit extra penetration over a standard round, especially over a standard hollow point. And I really like that extra penetration. Now, I like them when I like these bullets for smaller rounds, like 30, like I said, 9mm, 38 Special, 380. But I also like them for 10mm. If I'm shooting 10mm, they make one of the best 10mm you can get. It's like 140 grain, and it's traveling at like 1,500 feet per second. That really puts a hurting on something when it hits. So it's one of my favorite rounds. Underwood, they're one of my favorite manufacturers for carry, with lots of different calibers, but mainly if it's a smaller caliber that I think needs a little more oomph, or if it's 10mm, the Underwood Extreme Defenders and Extreme Penetrator lines, those are what I go for. All right, next on the list, we have another hollow point, lead-free solid copper round. You're seeing a trend here. I like solid copper. This one is from Corbon, and it is their DPX line. Now, I really like these for 357 Magnum, but where I think they really shine is 357 SIG. If I'm carrying a 357 SIG, this is probably what I'm carrying. They've got 125 grain that goes between 1,300 and 1,400 feet per second, and it's just a really potent round. I like it a lot. It's very much like the Barnes ammo we talked about earlier. It's kind of the best of both worlds. It's got a hollow point, so it does expand. But the rest of the bullet is solid copper, really holds together very well. It doesn't deform like lead. So it's got expansion, plus it's got really good penetration. And it's a little lighter, can move a little faster, and with that solid body can really do some damage. So I like this round for many of the same reasons I like the Barnes, but in this round, I really like it in 357 SIG, and it tends to be what I carry if I'm carrying a 357 SIG. So that's the next round on the list here, the next maker on the list here. It's the Corbon DPX. All right, the next ammo on the list is the ammo that I love when I'm going to be actually shooting the same round I carry. So I tend to buy this a lot in 357 mag and especially 44 Magnum because I actually shoot those rounds a lot. I don't shoot a lot of other calibers as much as I do those ones. So I want a good carry ammo that I can also practice with. And Minuteman ammo is that because it's loaded like carry ammo, self-defense ammo, but it's priced closer to range ammo. So you can actually buy a big box of it, shoot a bunch, carry the rest. And what I really love in this ammo is their 44 Magnum. If I'm carrying a 44 Magnum, especially if I'm out in the woods where I might have to run up against large predators, I love their jacketed soft points, their lead soft points with the jackets on them. Those are great. They hit like hard cast bullets. They're 240 grain. They're traveling at, I believe, 1,300 to 1,400 feet per second. They're just devastating. So they are what I usually carry in my 44 mag if I'm going to be around in the woods or something or on my property because they'll get the job done. They'll penetrate pretty much anything you need them to, even though they're lead. So that's what I carry when I'm carrying 357 Magnum sometimes, and usually when I'm carrying 44 Magnum because it's a round that I can carry and train with, and that is Minuteman ammo. All right, last but not least, definitely not least, because it's probably one of my favorite carry rounds, period, is Fort Scott Tumble Upon Impact ammo. This is also a solid copper round, but it's designed to penetrate hard barriers, bone, etc. But when it hits softer flesh and tissue, it tumbles. So it really does damage to hard items and soft items also. This is a very devastating round. It'll go through a window or a car door with ease, but still do, like I said, a lot of damage when it hits flesh, meat and bone. It's designed for both. And that's why I like this ammo so much. I especially like it in 40. They have, I believe it's 125 grain 40 caliber loading that travels at 1,350 feet per second, which is a pretty devastating round. But I also like it in 9mm. For the same reason I like the Underwoods. When I think I have a reduced caliber gun, a lower caliber that I think needs more oomph, I go to the Fort Scott Tumble Upon Impacts along with the Underwoods. But I actually like the Fort Scotts, I think, a little bit better because of the way they behave in gel and soft tissue because of that tumbling effect. So that's definitely one of my favorite carry ammos, no matter what I'm carrying. And that is the Fort Scott Solid Copper TUI ammo. All right, there you have it. Those are my favorite ammos. Those are the ones I tend to go to. When I stock up ammo, those are the ones I stock. What I really stock a lot of is Minuteman because, like I said, it's less expensive, so you can buy big boxes of it. I have a ton of Minuteman. That's usually my go-to round. If I can't find anything else I want at a gun shop, I'll try to buy a box of ammo. And Minuteman at our local shop, because it is local made and it's owned by the people who own my local gun shop. So it's probably my go-to ammo for stocking up. But all of those are my go-to ammos for self-defense. So I think you would be well served with any of them, whichever one you think meets your needs best and you like best. They're not, like I said, not ranking any one of them above the other. And there's tons of other rounds that are also awesome. It's just, they're not the ones I tend to go to. Those are my favorites, and that's the reasons why they're my favorites. And with that being said, I'm pretty much out of time today, or at least I think I am. I haven't been keeping track of time, forgot to set my timer when I started. But I want to thank everyone for coming. I hope you come back again tomorrow. Until then, I want to remind everyone to always carry, and carry a good carry ammo with it, and stay safe until I see you again.